Okay, welcome back to the channel. This week I'm going to be showing a few exercises that I tend to do on a regular basis with the goal of trying to strengthen my shoulders in mind. Those of us particularly that do cut, thrust, or saber, everybody who fences and does anything that involves a cutting motion understands that you tend to raise your arms higher maybe than you do in small sword or rapier. And so it really helps to have your shoulder and your back developed. I also have some shoulder and back problems from years and years and years of martial arts and abusing myself and doing terrible things. And as a result, I found that these exercises really help not only strengthen my back and my shoulders, but also keep them from having as much day-to-day pain. So, first thing I'm going to do, and of course, all the standard disclaimers. Consult a doctor before blah, blah, blah. I figure if you're watching this, you're at least a reasonable human being who knows not to do something that's going to hurt yourself or put yourself in danger or cause permanent injury. Moderation is always the key. I'm a big believer in starting things off and doing low weight, high reps until your muscles get conditioned, and then you can increase the reps or the weight. Okay? I've been doing these for 6 months or more, and I've only recently gone to a thicker elastic band for these exercises. On that note, I actually like the elastic bands instead of weights for this. I think weights would be just fine, and occasionally I do these with free weights. I like the elastic bands because of the progressive resistance they give you, and that they give you a lot of resistance, in both directions. Also, frankly, I find that for me at least, elastic bands have that nice middle ground between free weights, which are uncontrolled and can go anywhere, and machines, which are, locked into a linear motion. But in any event, first thing I do, I just take the elastic band, stand on it, and gives it a good brace. And what I'll do is raise my hands up, and then slowly lower, and raise back up again. And so it's just this motion, nice and controlled, pausing a little bit when I get down, pausing for a second when I'm up, and not rushing it. You don't want to do this. You're making the muscles work through the range of motion, okay? And I usually do 3 sets of 30 with that. And I'll vary it up with the other exercises. So I'll do maybe 30, one set of 30 there, and then one set of 30 raising straight ahead. Same thing, nice and controlled motion. Pausing for a second when I get to shoulder level or just above shoulder level. My arms are not locked out, they're slightly bent, but I'm not keeping them really up, so it makes it a lot easier. I'm using my arms as a lever to increase the resistance as I pull it out. And I do 30 of those. And then last one is just out to the sides. And same thing, down. I don't let it go all the way down, come down so there's still resistance on the bands, and then back up just a little above my shoulders. Again, you can see my arms are slightly bent. Set of 30 there as well. Okay, and so again, I'll do, a set of 30 here above my head, a set of 30 straight ahead, and a set of 30 to the sides. And then I'll start again and do another set of 30. And so I ended up doing 90 reps with each exercise, 3 sets of 30. So that's what I like to do with the shoulder work, the elastic bands. I supplement that with some barbell work or some dumbbell work. But again, that's a good conditioning thing for me. And if you do it fairly regularly, twice a week, once a week, twice a week, you'll find that the strength pays a lot of dividends, and also the control. That's the other thing I like about the elastics, is it makes you work to keep it in line. So it's not just lifting straight up. You're lifting up, but also having to use some fine muscle movement to keep it in line, to keep it from flopping forward or backwards. Then what I do for my back, and I think it's extremely important to work the back too. A lot of people work their chest, their biceps, their triceps, everything you see in the front, but they don't work their back. And so they don't counterbalance it. Everything gets tight up front, but they're not strengthening and flexing their back. And I saw this video from a professional strongman. And I'll link his video below because his instruction is far better than what I'm going to do for you. But watch his video, very useful, very helpful for me. You can use just the same elastic bands. To do this, I actually just went and bought this off Amazon. I think it was like $6. And it's just a elastic band, just a red elastic band. I think it's like a 10-pound weight, 10 to 15 pounds when it's stretched. And I usually watch the television, so I'll loop it over the treadmill arm, but for the purposes of this video, you just put it on something that is more or less chest or shoulder height. And from here, the set of 4 exercises I do there, hold the band out, and then just above your head. And you want to concentrate and feel it in your shoulders and in your back. Do 10 of those. The W stretch, your arms are, if you're looking from the back, they're cut like a W. Basically, your forearms are slightly bent. You pull it back, then drop it down, pull it straight in. And finally, straightening your arms, holding it down, and pulling it down to your thighs. And again, I try to do 10 reps, and I do about 3 sets of 10 reps of each of those exercises. And again, I encourage you to watch the video because the video for this powerlifter who led me to do these exercises, he talks about the various muscles that's being done and why it's being done. I'll leave that to him because he does a better job than I ever will. So, again, shoulders and back. If there's an interest, I'll probably put some other videos and some other things that I do. But the key is to just make sure you're doing something. Do some kind of conditioning and weight training. Often you don't want to just roll into a fencing tournament or a fencing practice without having done any training. You're going to be at a real disadvantage compared to the people that do the training. So that's it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Otherwise, have at it and good luck.